Let me tell you something. If you ever have to choose between me and someone else, please choose them. Because you already lost me the moment there was a choice. I'm not an option.
I mean, if you want to still be 40 plus trying to lock down Chad, that's on you, okay? But he has options, right? These girls think that they have all the time in the world. They'll sit there and they'll tell each other, "Oh, don't worry, babe. You have time to. You have time. You have so much time to have a family, get a boyfriend, and stuff like this." And before you know it, they're 40 plus, talking about how they don't want to be treated like an option. That's just you're no longer in a bargaining position, and I don't say that to be rude to this lady here, but you've got to understand what you're working with. And a lot of these girls, what they're trying to do is cash out their chips when it's too late.
Somebody referred to me the other day as an older lady. Older lady? I don't want to be an older lady. Please refer to me as a queen-ager.
You know, I don't think I will. Okay, these girls are getting so much validation on social media and stuff like that. They still think that they have time to secure these boyfriends. You know, you guys can't see it off the right of the screen here, but you know, there's people in the comments. I'm looking at the comments over here. If you can see my mouse on the screen, to the right, the first comment is "You're pretty." Next one is "Yes, I love you." Third one is "Beautiful you are." Fourth one, "I like that." Fifth one, "Queen-ager it is." Right? All of these people over here validating this woman for no reason. Okay, and she thinks that, okay, well, I'm still going to be able to go out there and secure the guy that I want. Girls will do this stuff even while in relationships. They'll just straight up disrespect their dude while making videos like this in order to try and line up a guy after the fact. But we've got one more video before we'll do the intro to today's episode, gentlemen.
So if you can believe this, there are people who are accusing me of using filters. And I mean, I don't know how to tell them that I'm not. It's just humiliating and embarrassing. I don't know. So if you...
Yeah, okay. And this is what happens. These ladies, as they get older as well, you know, they'll jump on social media, they'll jump on Snapchat and stuff like this, and they'll start using the filters and whatever the case may be, and in order to collect the validation. You will notice that pretty much all girls use filters. Okay, just straight up, they all use filters, all edit their photos. It is a rare girl indeed who does not use filters. But what is going on, gentlemen? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, we're going to be going through a few stories and a few videos. But before we jump into it, guys, make sure you subscribe on your way in and come and join the locals and the Discord links in the description. Both of those are totally free, and if YouTube takes down our channel at any point, you will be notified through those. So make sure you come and join. They are both totally free. But I'm going to see what else we're going to be looking at here today. I know I've got a few stories up for us to have a look at that'll be quite interesting. So we're going to jump into the first one here, which is titled, "Found Out My Girlfriend is on Tinder. I'm 27 and my girlfriend is 25. Now, before we jump straight in, guys, I just want to make this quite clear, okay? Social media, in pretty much all its forms, I don't care if it's as tame as Facebook or as untame as Tinder and Snapchat, they are all dating applications. Okay, I don't. I've had people come into the comments and say, "Taylor, you know, why do you say Facebook is a dating application? Why do you say Instagram is a dating application? They're just social media." No, they're not. Okay, you've got to understand that Instagram. Let's talk about Instagram for a second before we jump back into the story here. Okay, Instagram is like it's a modern day business card. Now, you can use that business card for your business, or you can use that business card for yourself. But what it currently is it's a business card for yourself as someone in the dating marketplace. That's what it is. Okay, so you might think that, look, if you're a guy that's dating and that sort of stuff, and maybe you're an older gentleman and you hate all this social media, I do not blame you at all. You know, I make these videos every day for you guys. I like making them. I try and build it into my routine in the morning before I head out and go to the gym and you know, go out for the day, right? But make no mistake, I'm not a fan of social media either. I really dislike it. But what I will say is this. If you are a guy and you are dating without social media, you are putting yourself at a disadvantage. Okay, these girls are hooked on this stuff, absolutely hooked on this. They'll stalk you. If a girl's into you, she'll stalk you. It's a great way to stay in her head, all this kind of crap if you're interested in dating. But that's enough ranting. We're going to jump into the story, okay? A friend told me that he had seen my girlfriend on Tinder, a couple of months back. When I confronted her about it, she told me he was lying and someone must have set up a fake Tinder of her because she wasn't on it. It was extremely difficult, but I eventually believed her. Last night, when she was asleep, I wanted to find out for myself, so I downloaded Tinder on her phone and signed in using her email address. It signed straight in, and sure enough there was messages and from other men, and there was pictures that were taken recently on her profile. When I seen it, I woke her up out of her sleep to ask if she was on Tinder at any time during our relationship. She swore on her daughters, I can't say that she wasn't on it since we met. When I showed her what I'd seen, she denied everything, and it must have been someone else on her profile. Guys, something to point out here is, look, and this is something that I forgot to mention on that rant a second ago, is that girls will have these media applications, all of them, right? Generally speaking, all of them: Tinder, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, WhatsApp, you name it, like all this stuff. Because what they are is they're lead funnels, guys. They're lead funnels for dating. Now, girls will rarely ever give up these lead funnels if they don't have to. Okay, you might be in a relationship, you might think that you're in a secure relationship, that's great, but just understand that people will generally keep their options open. Men are far less likely to do this. Men, if we go on dating apps, there is a huge difference. We use dating apps specifically for, trying to meet up with a girl and see a girl, that kind of thing. Girls will use dating apps to queue up their options and get free attention. Like, make no mistake, a lot of guys get confused, right, when they come out of relationships and stuff like this. A lot of guys fail to understand that when you come out of a relationship, and this is something I mentioned in the last video or the video before, girls know who is next. Okay? Like, when you break up with your girlfriend and you're shocked to see that she's with another guy within a couple of weeks, don't be shocked, man. She knew who that guy was months before your relationship ended, assuming you had a longer relationship, right? She knew who that guy was going to be well ahead of time. See, you didn't. Guys don't think like that. We don't line up our chips after the fact, right? We don't go, okay, well, I'm seeing this girl, and then what I'm going to do is, I don't want to be by myself after the relationship, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up three women after the fact. Some guys might do that, but in general, that's not what men do, okay? And also, a lot of men can't. Right? We're just not afforded that same option. Now, guys, I want to jump into a couple more stories here, and we got some interesting ones, queued up. Now, guys, we're going to pull up a situation here that is quite, I don't want to say stressful, but man, it gives me a headache to read, okay? Guys get themselves into so many situations because of lack of self-respect. If there's anything, like, you guys watch this video for anything, I don't particularly know. Maybe you watch them for entertainment. Maybe you watch them to see another opinion. Who the hell knows, right? But something I'd like you to get out of this, if you do get anything at all, is the fact that people need to start respecting themselves a lot more. Okay, y'all are out here wasting time on people who straight up just don't deserve it. You'll be disrespected to your face, and you'll try and lie to yourself and say, oh, well, maybe she's telling the truth. Maybe she still likes me. No, guys, stop making excuses for people. It's ridiculous. Let's jump in. I gave her a ton of love and support, and she lied to me about things I didn't want her to do and tried to justify her actions. Posted 4 hours ago. I've been dating my girlfriend for almost 1.5 years now. Throughout our relationship, I've been nothing short of supportive and loving to her. I've even stuck through her when she was angry at me because of some contrived BS I did, and I didn't make her feel happy. Whenever I bought anything that was making me unhappy, I was being A-word and always making her sad. I mean, how many red flags do you want, right? She's constantly always been texting a ton of guys. I'd always ask her to please text less guys less often, but she never listens. She always says, it's just my personality, I just want to be one of the guys. So she expects me to just swallow my tongue and say nothing. I mean, look how weak this is, right? I had asked her to please text less guys less often. How about you text no guys or I'm gone? Or how about this? I'm gone because you're texting guys. Right? I never understand this whole mentality of like, oh yeah, well, what we're going to do is we're going to get a girlfriend and then we're going to try and change her, right? We're going to try and turn her into a girl that we actually want. Guys, we're not out here trying to change people and go, okay, well, I want a girl who looks like this, so I'm going to try and change her behavior because I don't like it. Guys, there's no changing behavior. She either does it or she doesn't. We're not out here, we're not out here convincing, asking her questions about her behavior, trying to convince her of crap. That's not how it works. Too many men are out here in relationships trying to show the girl that they love them. Right? The girl is like, oh, I need to feel more connected to you. I need to, it seems as though you never care. And guys will go, okay, well, I want to show you that I care. And then you'll waste your damn time. There are far more important things to do, because if you go out there and do that, please expect that she's going to leave your ass. Okay? Because, and we've been over this far too many times, so we're going to continue with the story here. Anyway, the one day I had my friend over, she insisted on coming along. I only wanted to spend the day with my best friend because it had been a while. But since she insisted and had DNA and all that crap, I let her come. The moment I hopped into the pool with him, I would try to pick her up because she told me she liked it, and she would physically push me away and go to my friend. Now, my friend is my best friend, so our support goes both ways no matter what. No, it doesn't. You will see the situation time and time again. Most guys think that they have a best guy friend. Let me tell you something, right? Okay. We make videos like this and we talk about the behavior of girls and we kind of try and break it down. But guys will go behind your back and be sneaky as well. Right? You think that some dude's your best friend, right? No. No. Okay. Most guys will cross a line with your girl if the girl goes on to her. And that's just the way it is. And, that's really unfortunate to say, but, I look, when I make videos like this, guys, I try and give you at least my opinion on it and what I think is true. And this is something that, can't really be passed up on. A lot of guys lack this kind of spine as well. Okay? Like, you may be out here thinking that, oh, he's my best friend, he wouldn't do that. Don't be so sure, okay? Just be cautious, alright? I'd asked him to keep an eye on her because I'd been knowing that she lies to me. Well, the other day I found out from my friend that she told him she was having certain kind of thoughts about him. When I brought it up to her last night, she said, I just like the drama. I didn't really mean it. I told her I bought it, but I really didn't. I told her I bought it. I really didn't. Right, okay. Then there was the fact that she was sending him pictures of her questionably dressed. She said I wanted his opinion for you. She also drank a bit, and I asked her not to because of a certain condition she had, and she went to parties without telling me and kept it a secret from me for a long time. She also bought a vape, which I specifically said to her I would break up with her for, and she said I wanted to sell it to get money to buy you a present. Guys, look, when you put up boundaries like this, okay, so what this guy has done is he's putting up tiny little boundaries, and he's thinking that this is going to help him. Right? He's thinking that I'm going to put up these... Girls know when they can walk all over your boundaries, guys. You will just waste... you want to talk about breakups and stuff like that. Okay, break up with her then. But he knows he doesn't want to break up with her because he doesn't want to lose her. Okay, and I've actually got a bit of a clip that I wanted to pull up here and show you guys discussing quickly breakups and kind of how they work. So I'm just going to make sure I've got the right timing here. And we're just going to jump right into this. So take a look at this guy's advice right here. And this is something I mostly agree with from memory. So we're going to see what he has to say. Just be mindful in case the volume is off to begin with.
The correct response, no matter what the situation is, doesn't matter what the details are, doesn't matter if you fucked up or she fucked up or nobody fucked up. The correct response is always, okay.
And just for some context here, he is talking about breakups. I don't know if I missed that myself just then, but he's saying that when a breakup happens, you should just be saying the word okay, and that's pretty much it. That's his advice, right?
That's it. You can be angry, you can be upset, you can be hurt, you can be all kinds of emotions, but the response that you give to a chick when she breaks up with you is okay. Let me explain to you why.
I agree. Right, and before he gets into it, guys, we're not kicking and screaming, we're not arguing, we're not sitting down having discussions, we're not looking through girls' phones, we're not asking them questions. Okay, if you have to be asking questions and snooping around, it's done. It's just such a waste of your time, and all they'll do is look at you like you're some sort of clown. They really do. Okay, if you have boundaries and stuff like that, guys, you need to stick to them. Because what will happen is people will inch. This goes for men and women. Okay, When people understand that they can push your boundaries, what they're going to do is they're going to slowly inch them forward. Right? And this gets particularly bad in society, because what's happening in society at the moment is that men are being trained to not have boundaries. Masculinity is literally being trained out of men. Okay, you're currently, if you're a guy watching this, maybe you're at school or something like that, maybe you're at college, university, whatever the hell, right? I want you to have a look at, particularly if you attend any sort of social classes, right? And what I mean by that is, social sciences classes, so psychology, sociology, English, literature classes, that kind of thing. I want you to pay attention to the way that you're being conditioned in those classes specifically. Now, this applies to most classes, but just notice the overall theme of, men need to be more in touch with their emotions. Most men are evil, right? You'll cover, like, you've got to understand that there is a huge push for you as a man to be more emotional. Okay, and there is also more of a push for you to go out and be in relationships and put yourself in situations that do not favor you. Okay, you need to, if you have boundaries, guys, stick to them, because people are going to slowly shove them over time until they do terrible things. That's the way it works.
So in sales and negotiation psychology, the person who is capable of walking away from the deal holds the most power. That's number one.
True.
Number two is know your worth. So there's nothing more unattractive than breaking up with somebody and then them begging to have you back.
Yeah, and see, this is something we need to talk about as well, guys. Look, it's not about being attractive. Okay, you can spin this any way you want, right? You can say, "Oh, well, I'm going to have boundaries to look attractive." No, that's not the reason that you have boundaries. That's not the reason. You don't vet girls out of your life so that, oh, you can be more valuable or be more attractive. That's not why you vet girls out of your life. The reason why you have boundaries and you vet people is because if you don't, they will be a pain in your backside. They will be a nuisance to your life. They will hinder you. They will waste your damn time. I don't know. Look, if you've got a girlfriend or something like that, look. If you want to have a girlfriend, that's totally cool. If you don't want to have a girlfriend, that's totally cool as well. I don't shame men for the decisions that they want to make in dating. But what I will say is this: you will waste a lot of damn time if you're just playing around, screwing around. If you're in a relationship with a girl, a lot of the times they're actually huge distractions. As sad as it is to kind of say here, but look, you're not, just to hammer the point home, you're not putting up these boundaries. You're not, walking away from girls, saying certain words to appear more attractive. The reason why, men on this side of the internet will encourage you to think a certain way is so that you're not out here wasting your damn time and dealing with things that you have no business dealing with. And before we continue with the story, guys, I think this is kind of important to bring up. So I was talking to a guy the other day, and he has a very long-term girlfriend, a partner, I guess you could call it, right? He has a partner, and she is not the nicest when she has been around certain things, shall we say? So periodically, she is not the nicest person, if you can kind of read between the lines of what I'm saying here. And he was saying, "Oh, well, I kind of want to leave her, and I've got a number for someone who can help her with her problem, shall we say?" And he was saying, I was like, "Yeah, you should leave if you don't want to be there. If things are getting terrible, of course you should leave. You shouldn't be in situations that you don't want to be in." And he was like, "Yeah, but I don't want to leave her because I'm worried about how she'll be after the fact." Now, this is a guy who bends over backwards doing everything to try and make this woman happy, okay? And he's worried about her health after he leaves her. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. You have to be putting your health first, right? Like, why is he investing everything trying to make her happy, and then if he wants to break up with her, still feels the need to go out and help her? Right? Help yourselves, guys. Stop putting so much effort into helping other people. Help yourself first. You cannot help other people unless you put yourself first, and that's the way it is. Let's keep going. I've rambled on long enough.
The worst thing you can do during a breakup, if someone is leaving you, is be like, "Oh my God, please don't leave me. I miss you so much. You're the love of my life. I'll never live without you." that shows that you have very little value. And subconsciously, they will pick up on that, and it will just make them not want to be with you more. It will actually reaffirm their decision.
Yeah, look, I agree with him. I agree with what he's saying. Though I'd also like to add on to that that you shouldn't necessarily be thinking of it like that. Well, how do I look more valuable? Right? Well, I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to go off on her because it's going to make me look more valuable. No, no, no. You don't do these things because it's a waste of your time and energy. That's why you don't do them. You do it for yourself. You're not doing it to try and change her opinion about you. That's stupid. You shouldn't care about her opinion of you.
So know your worth, know your value, and if somebody doesn't want to be with you, thank them for not wasting any more of your time so that you can go spend your time doing what you want to do or developing something with somebody else. So that's number 2. And the third and final reason why the correct response is always okay is a man who has control of his emotions is extremely attractive. So, 2 scenarios. Chick breaks up with you and you break composure and lose frame and start doing emotional shit. Not going to be very attractive. Opposite scenario. Chick breaks up with you and you remove yourself for a few days, collect yourself, have a conversation with her and say, hey, I really like you. I really want to make this work, but I do not want to be with somebody who does not value me. And you've just told me that you don't. I want somebody in my life that does value me. So I think this is the correct move, is to move on from each other. That will show her that you have self-respect, you have value, you know what you're doing in life, and if she doesn't want to be with you, she can get off the train, because your life should be a freight train. Hopefully that helps you guys. Know your worth, know your value. Don't let people in your lives that don't value you, because it will lower yours. And always have a purpose, always have a drive. Be a freight train in life.
Look, I think there's some real good advice in there, right? I agree with what he says, though I'd also like to add on a couple of things. One, if you break up with a girl, right? If you break up with a girl and you're the one initiating the breakup, you can say those words to her then. But do not have a breakup and then afterwards go back and say those words after a few days of you collecting yourself. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you want to break up with those words, that's totally fine. But guys, after breakups, don't stay in contact with people, right? You should already have friends. You should already have people you care about, family and stuff like that. Don't be going out here trying to like, just go no contact, man. Just go no contact. There's no point talking to these people. If the relationship ends, it ends, and that's going to be that. But guys, we're going to wrap up today's show with one more story here. Make sure you leave your thoughts and comments as we've been going through. It's always interesting to see what you guys have to say. It's gotten to the point where, look, I can't read everyone's comments, but I do try and have a scroll through to see what you guys think of these stories. And, it's always interesting because a lot of the times you guys pick up on things that I miss, like very, very frequently. So we're going to wrap up today's story with actually a bit of a backwards one here. So we often talk about on the channel how girls will string people along and stuff like that. Guys do the same thing if they can a lot of the time. So we're actually going to read a story that's a little bit backwards here, because usually it's the girl stringing along the guy, but sometimes you get it the other way around. So this is titled, and from 7 hours ago, my ex suddenly started to message me again after being the one to string me along. My 20-year-old female ex, who's a 20-year-old male, dumped me in the June of 2020, so over a year ago. He said that we'd be friends with benefits and see where things went, to not get my hopes up of getting back together. He strung me along, kept giving me reassurance he wasn't talking to anyone, but I saw him on dating apps. Asked me to only ask him to send me certain kind of pictures so often. Only up until 5 or 6 months ago, he started being flaky, where he only texted me to remind me about his stream, sending me a link to it and nothing else. He says it's because I'm very busy with streaming 5 days a week and work 5 days a week. I work and I do full-time school. I can still help him, show him my care and support his stream, but he can't even take 2 seconds out of his day to text me back. It's so funny, right? And we've actually got a video queued up, because I record these videos back to back in the morning, right? And then kind of schedule them in later on. But look, it's funny that, look, girls will think that they have that this is a relationship. This is not a relationship. Okay, a lot of girls want to think, okay, well, maybe one day I can get his commitment. Maybe one day he's going to commit to me, right? And and then they'll spend all this time chasing Chad, and before you know it, they'll turn out like the lady at the beginning of today's video that we showed you, right? It's just not how it works, and it's really funny to watch, right? Because what they're going to do is they will go through and try and get this guy, and then they're going to jump back in, and they're eventually going to turn around and say to themselves, okay, well, I might as well get a boyfriend now, right? So they turn around and they get some other boyfriend, and oh look, and then they give the sob story, right? Oh, this guy never had time for me, he was always so rude and he treated me terribly, but at least you're here for me. So she'll get with another guy. Meanwhile, I mean, she just did all of this for this guy for no damn reason, for no relationship, right? And this new guy thinks that he's loved. This is where the emotions are. Her emotions are still attached to this guy. So let's continue. But recently, after not reaching out or even replying consistently, he decides to message me asking if I needed notes that I have asked him for in the past. I say no. He started begging for me to add him back and even calls me, which he never did and never wanted to answer my calls before. Man, I hate phone calls. Goodness me, I really dislike them. I left him on delivered, and I get another call hours later. I have not replied in an overly friendly manner. I at one point begged him to even pay any attention to me and my messages, phone calls, or for him to give me lame excuses. But now he decides to come back and ask me to do things that I asked him to do before, to the point where he's saying please. I also have a boyfriend, and I've never experienced a situation like this involving an ex and dating, but I know I'd never be doing anything or saying anything out of boundaries with my boyfriend. I like him very much, even though we've only been together for 3 months. He's the best thing ever. These stories are so funny, guys, and we're kind of going to wrap up today's show here, but there's a few reasons that I find this funny. One, girls will do all of this for absolutely no commitment, and then some guy later on has to commit to her in order to get all of these things. That's the first thing that's funny. The second thing that's funny is that her emotions are still with this guy. This new relationship, oh, he's the best thing ever, he's great, he's fantastic, but her emotions are still caught on this. Now, this guy made a huge mistake by being emotional and asking her and calling her and all this crap. That's a huge mistake that he made. But I want you guys to pay attention how she's still split with this guy. And this is a common theme that you will see in relationships. A lot of men out here think that they're actually in relationships with girls, but the girls are still caught up on their ex, and it's a really sad thing to watch. But gentlemen, we're going to leave today's video there. As always, leave your thoughts and comments below. Always interesting to see what you guys have to say. Make sure you come and join the locals and the Discord links in the description, guys. Both of those are totally free to join. And if anything happens to this YouTube channel, you will be notified in those 2 links. So make sure you come and join those. The links are below. And one final thing, guys, which I forgot to mention as well, is we are currently running an art competition. So if you are interested in entering, it ends on September 30th, 2021. All submissions need to go to mrfiend11@gmail.com. There are cash prizes for winning. First place gets $350 US. If you're interested in entering that, make sure you read the details linked in the description to find out about the theme and stuff like that. But guys, we're going to call it there. As always, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I will see you boys in the next video. Peace.